Hello everyone, I am Monica. In this video, we will discuss about importing and exporting of components in the React, which is the main one of the main things in the React concepts. Okay, first we will go for the exporting. Before going to exporting, why we need this? Why we need import and export? Okay, coming to this, why means helps to organize code in multiple files. Okay, means it helps organize code in multiple files. Okay, now next second thing is makes component reusable. Okay, makes components reusable. Reusable means we already know that components are introduced because of the functionality of reusability. Okay, means write once and use multiple times and keep our application modular means organized, easy to handle and maintain. Okay, now we will go for first exporting components. Without this concept, we didn't create any apps or we didn't write any codes and all. Okay, this is the most important thing in our React. Okay, exporting components. These are two types. Mainly, we have two types. One is default export. Okay, default, and second one is named export. Name export. Okay, means this default export is a most commonly most common for components. Okay, this is most common thing, and this is a customized customized things. If you want to export whatever the variable or the value property or the component, in such cases you need to use this named components. Means for a file we only have a one and only default export, remaining are the named exports. Okay, let's discuss one by one. First we will discuss about what is default export. Okay, coming to default export, this uses a keyword like export default letter export default. This is a syntax for, and here component name, whatever the component you want to export, that as a default component for that file. Okay, this is the syntax. Export default means this is the main item that is being exported from the file. You can import it with any name, like we will see it with an example. Okay, here we have an function app here. Okay, within that function we have some content like this. Okay, here we are exporting this like this. Okay, export default and the functional component name. What is the name here? App. So this is the syntax for exporting. Okay, you can import it with any name you want to import. We will see how it will works later, means after discussing about the inputs also. Okay, now coming to next named export. Named export, how it will helpful means you need to give export keyword before the function definition. Means function something function name here. Okay, at the time of function definition only, you need to give export before that function keyword. Okay, this is called named export. Okay, these named exports should be imported as the names defined in the function definition. Because, for example, this function name, previously we have app as our function name. Okay, this function should be, if you place export here, this will convert it to a named without this. Okay, named export. Okay, for this you need to import this with app name only. Okay, uh, means if you import this within another name, means any name you want to import this app, you need to make it as a default export. Okay, these exports are more than one thing from the file. These are mainly useful. Okay, like not only the function, you can also use the arrow functions like that also. You must import using the same name inside the braces. Okay, we can see the how to import the things also. Okay, these are the types of exports of components. Now coming to importing components. Importing components. Okay, here also we have two types. One is importing default export. One is importing default export and importing named export. We have two types. One is importing default, and the one is importing named one. Okay, named exports. Okay, first coming to this importing default, we already said what I said. The default export can be imported any name. Okay, for example, we have app. For importing, we need to use a keyword import after that component name. That is app. Okay, app is our component name. And then from which we are exporting this from app.jsx file. Okay, like this you need to import this. Okay, for the importing of default export, you can use a also instead of app. Okay, it will also works like before, like only, no problem with this. But for the named export, you need to import that named exports as the place them in curly braces and then same like app.jsx. Okay, you need to import like this. You need to place the component or the element, whatever you want to import from the exported one, from the named export, you need to place that named exports within the curly braces only. This is must and should. Okay, must match the exact name, exported names. Okay, exported function name that should match that. Okay, if you place curly braces within a, it is not at all working. You should place app only. Okay, this is the difference between importing default and the importing named exports as well. Okay, importing both the default and export also possible. Okay, and the thing is importing both default and named. How it import for named, for default export you need to use like this. Not only app, you can use small app also, small letters in. Okay, after this you need to use app. Okay, for the named, you have multiple named export, you can place them like this. Okay, this is the how the default and named exports are imported, as well as the both default and named exports are imported. Okay, we will discuss about the an example here. This is a default export. Okay, I am importing this app from which file? app.js. Okay, app.js. I am importing this. Okay, let's run it once. What happens? Yeah, it is running. Let's check for the output. You can observe that this is the output. Welcome to JSX Monica. Welcome to React. This is the content within our app component. But we are not rendering this here. We are importing this app component in index.js. After that, we are, for example, I'm importing as A. This also same works as the previous one because this is the default export. We can call it as with any name or else. This example is not our component name. If you observe that our component name is here app, because this is export default, you can use any name you want to use. Okay, if you see the output, it is remains same. Okay, this is the benefit of means use of how to use default export. Now we will see one named export also. Like for example, I am taking here export one function named message I am taking. Okay, within that message, I am returning one paragraph content, that is, this is a message. This is a message I am writing like this. Okay, this is the export. Okay, after that, I am exporting one footer function like export. This is writing, I am in the arrow function like structure, constant footer equals to within that what I want to show is I am taking one paragraph. This is footer. Okay, like this we are using this. How to import these ones means go to here. This is the example. We already know the name export must be exported within their name only and within curly braces only. So like this I am using. Okay, here I am returning message. I am rendering message here. Let's see what the output will be. This is a message. Okay, like this you need to render. And now coming to footer. I am placing footer. Okay, now let's see the output. This is footer. Okay, like this how the named and default imports and exports are working. You need to import them like this. This is the example. This is a default export. You can use any name here. Whatever the function name, you forget about that. Will that example will take the content of the default export component. Okay, now coming to this curly braces means for named imports, you need to for named export, you need to import them within curly braces only, within the names only. Okay, like here message should be imported at messages only and footer should be imported at footer only. But export default app component should be any name. Means it can imported with any name we want to use. This is the process how the imports and exports are working in the React. Okay, thank you.